The Bomb Squad returns. Hello, fight fans. This is Coach Nathan of NS Champ 7 Power Boxing Series at nschamp7.com. And that's the title of my recap of this past weekend's explosive return of Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, as he put to sleep the Nordic Nightmare, Robert Helenius, with a short right hand inside the first and only round of the fight. Not really a lot to this match, folks. Helenius seemed to corner Wilder close to the end of the round, but awkwardly reached out to throw a right-left 1-2 combination instead of the traditional left-right 1-2 combination, and was caught flush with the short right. To some, it didn't look like a lot was on the punch, similar and reminiscent to Muhammad Ali's Phantom Punch, or Anchor Punch as he called it, back in the day that knocked out Sonny Liston in their rematch, and that's way back in 1965. But on closer review and slow motion, one can see the slight turn of the body, particularly the shoulder, into the shot. So this was more than just an arm punch. And this is coming from a huge puncher. Remember, Deontay has a 92% knockout ratio in his wins. Combine that with the fact that Helenius was knocked out previously by Johann Duhaupas and Gerald Washington. Not exactly kingpins in the heavyweight division. Afterward, at the post-fight press conference, Wilder had somewhat of a meltdown in describing the hazards of the fight game and expressing compassion for Helenius, a friend and a former sparring partner. And he made some pretty good points. For instance, boxing, unlike other sports, you play basketball, you play football, you can play baseball, but boxing, you don't play boxing. It's deadly serious business. Now, afterward, I've heard some critics say about Deontay, what a hypocrite. Isn't this the same guy who said I want a body on my record before I'm through? And he was talking about a dead body, folks. Well, that was a few years back, and one could argue that this is the alter ego all great fighters, especially punchers and finishers, should have. And this goes back in the fight game. Two examples come to mind: Joe Louis and Sugar Ray Robinson, who were gentlemen to their fans outside the ring, but cold-blooded assassins to their opponents inside the ring. Boxing is also a very humbling sport, and the two knockout losses to Tyson Fury, I'm sure, has something to do with the relaxed and compassionate demeanor that we now see off Deontay. As for what's next, it's been reported that PBC frontman Al Heyman is negotiating another title eliminator match in February against Andy Ruiz. Now, a brief analysis of the co-main event between Caleb Plant and Anthony Durrell. Anybody upset with the gravedigger motions made by Plant after the knockout, go back and look at the two pre-fight press conferences and the weigh-in, count the number of times Caleb was called the P word, which I obviously can't and won't say on YouTube, but it ends with a Y. Durrell completely tried to punk and bully the guy. And if you kind of consider all this, maybe just a little, you can understand why Caleb not only did the gravedigger motion, but more importantly, ended the fight by being Caleb Brickhand's Plant instead of Caleb Sweet Hands Plant. As I've stated in previous videos, and this is to a lot of you young fighters up and coming out there, a lot of times heavy-duty intimidation and gutter-style trash talk against your opponent, it often backfires because it can make the guy go the extra rounds in the gym, run the extra mile in his road work, pump him up mentally to fight the fight of his life, taking extra punishment if necessary. On top of the fact, the most elite fighters already have that burning desire and will to win. That's how they got to be elite fighters. Historically, three glaring examples come to mind. I'm sure there's somebody out there old enough to remember Mike Tyson threatening to take Evander Holyfield's manhood in the ring in their first fight and was knocked out. And Sergey Kovalev against Andre Ward, who said Andre may not return to his family. That was before their second fight, and then he was knocked out. And earlier this year, Amir Khan said that he would give Kell Brook an unforgettable and long-lasting beating, and then he also was knocked out. So, that's my take on the fight, folks. But don't forget, for elite boxing instruction, elite boxing analysis, and elite boxing philosophy, click that like button, check me out, and subscribe to nschamp7.com. And as always, I will see you the next main event.